18, and again our investigations editor Manoj Gupta getting us these details that Amritsar Rural Police laid a trap and interrogated all possible handlers, and with the help of human intelligence or HUMINT, the arrest was actually made possible. On to a CNN News 18 exclusive here on The Right Stand. Here on The Right Stand and your channel CNN News 18, we've been able to access details of Papal Preet's interrogation. Top sources telling News 18, Papal Preet is fully cooperating in the investigations. He has accepted that all the videos and pictures in public domain belong to them only. So the CCTV footage and the pictures that have come through, it is them. They went to Haryana, they went to Patiala, they went to Delhi, they even went to Pilibhit in Uttar Pradesh. There were reports that they were seen in Meerut, and back to Haryana, and then back in Punjab in Hoshiarpur. All the hideouts, including the initial places, were actually arranged by Papal Preet. Baljeet Kaur in Shahabad was also a personal contact of Papal Preet. She had given them space and sharan or place to stay, asylum for at least 24 hours. And Amritpal was seen leaving that place with an umbrella. Now, Papal Preet has also said, and this is what agencies are telling CNN News 18, that at one stage they wanted to surrender, but that was only at one stage. Now the plans were different. There are other inputs too that are coming through, where they're saying that sources are saying, they're telling CNN News 18 that even Amritpal was spotted residing in a dera for about 4 days ago. But then after that, when agencies got wind of it and they tried to circle him, he made the escape using the crowds present. Ramnik Maan and Hemant Atri with us. Hemant Atri, so what are his plans? Was he planning to do something ahead of Friday, that is Baisakhi?
No, see, Anand, what he was planning to do initially was he wanted actually to get a Sarbat Khalsa organized as he got it done in 2015, if you recollect. That time, Shiromani Akali Dal government was in power. That time also, this gentleman is not a fresh face. He is an old guy. In 2015 also, through this Akal Takht and everything, he tried to organize, Sarbat Khalsa. And that point in time, he was also one of the main organizers.
Right.
And there was a sedition case registered against him at that time, 8 years back. Furthermore, in 2017, if you recollect, this gentleman joined very actively in Simranjit Singh Man's party. And he, through his social media accounts, was propagating Khalistan message all across. See, there were 6 cases before this case today.
Right.
There were 6 cases already going against him. What were all those governments in last 8 years doing? A person who is openly reading the messages of declared terrorists in that Sarbat Khalsa, what did Akalis do with him? What did Congress party government did it with? What is Aam Aadmi party doing with it? See, this is a larger conspiracy basically. They are playing, all of them really, they are shielding and protecting in their own unique, but I would say it's a shameless way of doing things. You tell me one thing.
Right.
Was there any little need of creating such a fiasco? Was Papal Preet, or for that matter Amritpal, they were hiding, or were they underground till 18th of last month? They were not.
Right.
Why was this scene created? This is a very important question. And now, 2 individuals can hoodwink such a powerful police force, such major intelligence agencies of Punjab as well as the centre. They can hoodwink for 23 days. What kind of message we are giving, Anand? This is something very important.
Right.
Punjab being such a sensitive state, and all these kind of things, right from 2015 till now, 6 cases already arrested, 6 cases already there.
Registered.
Why was he not arrested? Why was he not arrested?
And successive government. So it's not just one government, successive government.
I have named all 3 governments.
Yeah.
All 3 governments.
Yeah. All three
case going on.
All 3 parties involved.
Sedition case going
Ramnik
on.
Maan.
So what is this happening?
Correct. Fair question. But where is Amritpal is another question. Ramnik Maan.
See, Anand very rightly said by the gentleman here, I would wish to bring in a different angle. These people put together, Amritpal, Papal Preet, their handlers across the border in Pakistan, the ISI, their foreign funding. Papal Preet also has an income tax case against him where he has to explain where the money came into his bank account from. Now the point is, these people put together collectively have literally declared every Sikh across the globe as a Khalistani terrorist. And they themselves are on the run. While the Punjab police, which is a very potent police force, apparently has not been able to nab them. Well, I feel that after the arrest of Purple Preet, we are one step closer to get Amritpal in the net. But like I said before, the Punjab police is after the Baratis. They're not getting to catch the dhula. That's number one. That's the problem. Number two, there is this legal cover fire which they get from people like, I don't want to name the advocate, I don't want to make people famous, number one.
Right.
Number two, they get intellectual cover fire from across the world. There are people, there are sympathizers, let's say in Australia, in New Zealand, in Canada, in UK, USA. They give them intellectual cover fire. They say, ji, Khalistan di mang koi maadi nahi hai. Can you believe, when you ask a question as to what these three consecutive governments were doing, may I ask what the courts were doing?
Correct.
The courts were justifying, the courts were saying that there is no harm in asking for Khalistan. Can you believe somebody who's a pro-Khalistani sympathizer, he has been charging money from people to issue them letters to seek political asylum across the world,
Right.
is a member of parliament from Punjab. Can you believe that? Somebody who calls that he's going to fight for the cause of Khalistan is a member of parliament.
Right.
So what have courts been doing? So these people, such people who give them legal cover fire, intellectual cover fire, physical support, overground and underground support, what have the successive governments been doing, and why has the Supreme Court of India, the highest court of law in India, not taken notice of this? There would be a suo motu cognizance that the Supreme Court would take, or the Supreme Court will hear again, one minute, Anand, would hear on preference a case where they would want to decide whether a certain lemon drink is a Nimbu Pani or is it a cold drink. They can't decide whether Khalistan is pro-India, anti-India, whether it's sedition or not.
Correct.
So that should be clear in law. How does the police act? How does the law and order machinery work when the Supreme Court gives them a legal cover fire?
Gentlemen,
that's the problem.
all of us are aware, and this is what happens when these activities of radicalization, as we did it in our earlier investigation, or be it in terms of secessionists and fundamentalists, as we are seeing now, we allow them to breed. We allow them to grow to a level where they become a threat to the country. Actually, the attitude should be to nip them in the bud and not allow any space for these kind of elements at all on our soil. That's the only way we can secure Bharat, and for this, all the pillars of our constitutional and our society need to work together and need to be conscious of this, and this has to be high priority. For the moment, that doesn't seem to be happening.
Anand, if I may briefly put.
30 seconds, please. I'm very over on the show.
The point is, when you talk about nipping the evil in the bud, the government says we have zero tolerance against corruption. They should have zero tolerance against sedition.
Correct.
Anybody who talks about breaking India, there should be zero tolerance.
But like I said,
they cannot be allowed to scot-free.
Like I said, it's not just the government. The cops,
this has been allowed by the government of Punjab.
Cops, community, society, courts, all of us, even the constitution needs to be very clearly spelt out there that no activity that is going to hurt the security, the sovereignty, the safety, society of Bharat should be allowed on our soil at all. It should not be done. It's not acceptable at all. Forget anything. That's sacrosanct. We need to get to a level there collectively as a nation. Ramnik Maan and Hemant Atri, thank you very much. I have to wind up. We've got to take a very, very short break here on The Right Stand. Stay with us. It's the big initiative of Vibrant Villages.